I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz, and it is Divine Saturday in my world. So let's talk about a divination method that I think deserves a little more attention: geomancy. This particular book is by John Michael Greer, and it's not a little bad book on the subject. This is a more Northern European Anglican sort of divination method, from my understanding. And like I Ching, it works on a 1-2 or yes no sort of coding. In I Ching, you get 3 bars that are either solid or broken, and another set of 3 bars that again could be solid or broken in any combination, and that gives you your figure and you look up the meaning. In geomancy, rather than being lines, it's dots. So you have 1 dot or 2 dots in an individual row, and there's a total this time of 4 rows instead of having the 6 that you end up with in I Ching. Here you end up with 4. Now, on a practical level, the way I was taught to use geomancy, if this is what I'm going to do, and by the way, there's what a reading would look like. Let's see if I can pull that in for you guys. There you go. I was taught, grab a piece of paper and just do random dots while you think about your question. You're going to have to do that 4 different times, but add up the dots. If they're even, that row gets 2 dots. If they're odd, that row gets 1 dot. So here are what the figures look like. If you haven't seen them, there you go. There are fewer than there are in the I Ching, simply because it's 4 times 4. You just don't have as much. With the 4 versus 6, it does lower the number of pieces that you might end up having to memorize the meanings of. So for some people, this is a quicker system to grasp, but operates largely on the same principles. You're going to randomly generate some even, odd, yes, no type of figures, and you're going to then interpret them. Now, one of the ways I read about this being done more traditionally than with paper and pencil or pen was by going outside to your fields and digging up potatoes and counting the number of eyes on 4 different potatoes. So it's something you could potentially do if you're getting ready for supper and you're just grabbing 4 potatoes. You could get one of these figures, one of these guys. Now, obviously, I showed you something far more complicated. So it does get more complex because you get into these figures, which gives you a more thorough reading. So it is as though every time you make a figure, you're getting 1 tarot card or 1 rune. And because in that part of the world, having multiple figures has been the norm, you end up with more complicated need to pull more figures and develop them. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm not going to go into all of them, but they do sort of cover the gamut of things that tend to come out of that part of the world for divination. So, for example, there's a figure for a boy. There is a figure for battle, in essence. I'm simplifying a little there. It's this wonderful system, though, where you get things for joy, you get things for if you've got your hand on the tail of the dragon, so to speak. And the nice thing about it is the further you get into it, the more you can parse it, because these figures are thought of as being the head dots, the neck, the body, and the feet. And those each have their own associations with the classic Greek elements. So, for example, the feet are associated with earth. The bottom row of the 1 or 2 dots, that's associated with earth. And it keeps just going up through the body with each of those 4 classic Greek elements: earth, air, fire, and water. So there's all kinds of really interesting ways to parse geomancy once you get into it. This would honestly be my favorite book that's out right now on the subject. If you're interested, you can find this on our website. The QR code, if you're seeing one, is going to be up in that corner. Otherwise, just go to magusbooks.com or stop by here at the shop in Minneapolis. We're up in Northeast Minneapolis. Either way, thanks for tuning in and watching. Thanks for your comments and all the little social media things you can do. We, of course, here, everyone, not just me, really loves your magical you. We just think you're amazing. Just know that. And in the meantime, have a fantastic week.